Hello motorbike fans, this is Martin and I got some motorbike stuff for you. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, this is not a handlebar, this is a steering wheel. And what are all those stalks doing? There should be switches. And there's not even a blue helmet around my face. So what's going on? Okay, well maybe you want to have a look at the rear view mirror. You see what's there? Well, let's have a look behind. Just let me get out and I'll show you what's going on there. Look, a GS on a trailer. So you're probably wondering what's going on with that. Why is the motorbike on a trailer? Is it broken? No, it isn't. I'll try to explain a little bit what's going on here. A long time ago, actually late 2019, I had some ideas about doing a motorbike trip in Tyrol, Austria. And I found some very nice roads there, a couple of interesting places to stay, so it was looking pretty good. But there was a minor problem. From my home to Tyrol, it's about 900-ish kilometers, and that's a long stretch to do on a motorbike in one day. I know, because I've done that before, and while technically possible, you don't really need much to go wrong, such as traffic jams or weather or anything like that, and you'll be in big trouble. And obviously I could split it up in 2 days and maybe even change a few stretches of motorway for some interesting local roads. That could be nice, but unfortunately I'm really not very familiar with that area, so I wouldn't know what roads could be interesting. But then I came across an interesting train service that runs all the way from Düsseldorf to Innsbruck overnight. And I know what you're thinking. Then what about your motorbike? Well, that's the good news. You could park the motorbike on the train. Yes, that's right. You and your motorbike check in at Düsseldorf around 6 or so in the evening, and then you park the motorbike there. You move over to another part of the train where you can spend the night, sleep there, you can book a bed if you want to. And then next morning around 8:30 or so you wake up in Innsbruck, capital of Tyrol. Lovely, isn't it? So I plan to do this for the late summer of 2020, and then the pandemic hit Europe. So I've been monitoring things for a long time, and then when my gap for this holiday came close around September, I decided not to risk it because infection rates were on the rise. Actually, many measures against COVID were increasing in various countries, and this train is an affair where you have to book it. It's on fixed days, so if you feel it's not a good idea to go and you want to change the destination or you change the dates, then it's a problem because you are on fixed dates and you can't go anywhere until it's your time to go. So I decided not to risk it, and I went to Luxembourg instead, and that was a great holiday too. If you're interested, videos are on this channel. You'll find it under the playlist if you look there. So, quite a few motorbike adventures later, we ended up in the year 2022, where the COVID virus moved its business a lot more backstage. Stay there! So that was a good thing, and then I thought maybe this would be the year to try it again, going to Austria with the train. Unfortunately, there was yet another problem, because the company running this train service, they thought it was so successful that they stretched it all the way up to Amsterdam. Now, the very sophisticated city of Amsterdam is so very sophisticated that their central railway station does not have a loading bay for vehicles. And while that train, once it's left Amsterdam for Innsbruck, still calls at Düsseldorf station, they're not bothered to hook up the vehicle train up there. So basically the entire vehicle transportation service, they're no longer bothered to do that. They will do it from Hamburg all the way to Innsbruck, but that's like 400 kilometers going the wrong way to avoid going 800 kilometers to 900 kilometers the other way. There's not much point in that. So I wasn't interested. In case you are, Andy Mancam has a video on that on his channel somewhere. So basically, motorbike on the train was not going to happen. I didn't want to do the whole bit on a motorbike, so this time I decided to try bringing it on a motorbike trailer instead. That's why my bike is on the back of my car. And motorbike fans, I think I couldn't have picked a better time to do it than this time, because I've seen quite some weather on the way up here. I've planned 2 days to go to Tyrol, even by car, and while it hasn't been raining all the time, it has been raining a lot, and sometimes it was chucking it down. My dear, I wasn't sure if I was driving a car or submarine, that bad. Also, the other problem was it's pretty cold, between 9 and 12 degrees or so, and I don't mind a bit of cold you know, I ride my motorbike at sub-zero temperatures. Also, I prefer no rain on a trip, but I don't mind if it rains. But the combination of the two, especially on a long distance trip, it can be very tricky. You risk getting hypothermia as such, and that can be a problem. I've been there, done that, no fun, and actually quite dangerous. So even though the weather has not been very favorable, I've been enjoying myself sitting in the car. And I'm almost there. Unfortunately, I've hit a massive traffic jam on a Fernpass in Austria. There you go. It just started moving again, and then it moves for a kilometer or so, and then we're stationary for another couple of minutes, many minutes, like 5 to 10. So really annoying, but it's the way it is. So bear with me, we will eventually get to the place I'm staying in Tyrol, Austria, and this will eventually become a motorbike adventure. I hope to see you there when I've reached my apartment. So, while Cockpit Martin is sinking his teeth in his steering wheel out of sheer frustration, let me tell you how I got here. So I had my bike ready and tied up to a trailer, hooked that up, took a long and boring ride on a German autobahn with the occasional slightly wet coffee stop, and then finally ended up in this nice place, a few miles east of Aschaffenburg at the Landhotel Klingerhof, where I found that following my inquiry on them having enough parking space for a trailer at their premises, they actually roped off a space especially for me. Good thinking, excellent service, very much appreciated. So after a final inspection, I went upstairs to find a very nice hotel room with a more than adequate bathroom and a balcony to enjoy a very late dinner. I then went for a quick dip in the swimming pool and went to bed. Next morning I found my car, trailer and motorbike still in the place where I left it, but unfortunately I also found the weather had taken a turn for the worse. So I continued my journey through a now very wet Germany with the occasional very wet coffee stop, fortunately with a good view, and then I ended up in an equally wet Austria pretty soon in the traffic jam that Cockpit Martin was complaining about. Speaking of which, how are you doing, Cockpit Martin?
Well, motorbike fans, I made it, yes. It took me over 3 hours to get through that bloody pass, and it's only like 25 kilometers or so, I think. It's really bad. And why? Because there was some roadworks going on. Some 500 meters of roadworks, but single lane traffic, as in alternating traffic. And there was a lot of traffic that wanted to cross the pass, so it was really long wait, very, very annoying. To make matters worse, during my massive Fernpass traffic jam, it was, believe it or not, full with billboards saying, next time, take the train to Austria. If only you would still have been running that bring your motorbike along service, I bloody would have. Okay, let's forget about that. That's all over right now. I'm here, yes, and here is Jetzens in Tyrol, Austria. Hopefully tomorrow when there's daylight, because now there isn't any, it's really gone, it's past 8 in the evening. Tomorrow when there's daylight, I think it'll be a lot easier to see what view's like here. It's supposed to be very good, but we'll see. So right now, it's one of these, let me show you around my humble abode moments. So, you wanna come? First of all, there is the kitchen, with a lot of my junk already in it. I'm gonna have to put it all away, but that will come. I got a brew on because I think I deserved a cup of coffee after all this. Of course, here we're in the vestibule. There's room for some boots and ample space for a blue helmet and motorbike gloves, of course. So let's go down. To the left, we have a living room with a stove of sorts, relaxing sitting area, TV, and supposedly the best TV is out here, but I have to see about that tomorrow. There's a cute little outdoor place. I'm going to put that to the test later on. And then we have a convenient bathroom sink, tub, shower, toilet, everything you need. And then there is the bedroom. Hopefully also with a good view, but we'll see about that. Okay, motorbike fans, I'm gonna sit down here and I'm gonna stay here for a long time. So tomorrow there will be proper motorbike adventures, hopefully. Supposedly the last bit of rain will be gone during the early morning. We'll see about that tomorrow. And then I'm planning to bring you some good views and interesting stretches of Austrian roads. Now, thanks for watching and may the road rise to meet you.